invite to speak to this beautiful audience. I'm talking about the Group Executive Director of Revolution Plus Property and Patron of the Chris Bamidele Onalaja Foundation. This is Tolulope Onalaja. Welcome. A round of applause, please.
I hope everyone can hear me. Okay, I wanted to remember my marks, but I want to welcome every one of us to this event this morning. I want to thank God Almighty for giving us an opportunity to be gathered here today, to be a blessing. Someone asked me and said that, why do we do what we do as a brand? Like, we have several, people in Nigeria, even people that are wealthier than you are, companies that are bigger than your business. But why do you do what we do? And I said something. I said, Bible says that he that gives to the poor lends to the Lord. So when you give to the needy, when you can't lend to God and go empty now. How can someone borrow God? God that owns the entire universe. You want to borrow him. And Bible also said that God is the husband of the widows. People will ask me, why the widows? Why the widows? And I said, everything we do as a brand, we do it by God's inspiration. And when we started this foundation started 2 years ago when our GMD, in the person of Mr. Bamidele Onalaja, my husband, when he was 45 years old, he said, I want to start a foundation, the Chris Bamidele Onalaja Foundation, that I want to give back, to the society. I want to influence lives. So we decided that, okay, for this foundation to have a direction, let's take areas. Of course, we can't cover everything, but we need to pick out what are the things we want to do, which are the areas we want to touch. So we actually picked out 6 areas. So we call them our 6 areas of focus as a foundation. The one is the widows empowerment that we're having today. We have basic education and literacy. So we have students that we take up, we give them scholarship. So we have like during our opening of our Ibadan office 2 years ago, we had 2 guys who came to sing. They said they composed a song for Revolution Plus coming to Ibadan. And those boys came to sing on their own that day. Young boys, I think they were in GSS 2 or GSS 3 about that time. And after singing, the MD just said, you know what? I'm going to sponsor you till university level. And from that day, those boys are now in SS1 or SS2. We've taken over those boys from that day till now. Now we have a full-fledged school. It's called Tolulope Nursery and Primary School. That's Tolu and Dele, actually. That's how we came about the name, Tolulope Nursery and Primary School. I read education, first degree. So I have a knowledge of, education. And I've also taught, I was the first school counselor of the Federal College of Education Technical, Akoka, the staff school. I was their first guidance counselor in the school because I read guidance and counseling. So I have a background in education. So we put up a full-fledged school, tuition free. We are running the 2nd session now. We built the school, fully built, fully equipped, and we don't collect 1 naira. The school is located in Agbede Odubose in Ikorodu. In fact, they got there to do interviews and all. So the school is standing, fully furnished, and we have almost 100 students in that school. It has a sick bay, it has computer room, it has everything that a full-fledged private school has. But the difference is that it's tuition free. It was built for us to be able to help people who want to send their children to have quality education, but they don't have the money for it. So we have a lot of people wanting to come. I wish the school was bigger than what it is, but we can only accommodate, once the class is filled up, we can only accommodate that class that particular year unless people start registering their children for the next session. So one of the things we want to do this year is to build a secondary school. So the school is up to primary 6. So we want to build GSS 1 to SS3. So when we pick a child from nursery, the school starts from nursery 1. So when we pick a child from nursery 1, we want to be able to help that child from nursery 1 up to SS3. And I know that God has already done it since it's a heart desire. So the secondary school will also be in Ikorodu there. We're already sourcing the land and doing up the building plans and all to put up the secondary school. And then concerning the widows, last year I had, so 2 years ago I said we started with 10 widows during the 45th birthday of our MD. We gave 100,000 each to those widows. There were 10 of them. And that was the first time I saw that 100,000 could actually transform someone's life. I never knew, there are sometimes you sit in some positions and some money doesn't mean anything to you. You just think, oh, 50,000, 100,000, what can you do, really? But until you see it transform someone's life, that's when you know that, 100,000 can change someone's life. So we met these women, we just said, oh, we wanted to start with 10 widows. And I saw these women afterwards, I didn't recognize them again. A lot of them, some bought, so we followed up with them. They had a coordinator because I didn't want them to go spend the money. So I asked them, oh, what do you want to do? This one said, oh, I cook rice in Lagos, but I don't have capital. So I always collect rice. Then after I finish selling, I will pay the people. But if I can see money, at least I will know it's my rice. I will buy my rice, I will buy my things. And we gave that woman, in fact, she equipped a booker that she had in Lagos Island. So she had money to buy food stuff and everything. There were some sets that said, oh, we just need a shop in front of our house. We'll just make a store, and then they started selling palm oil, groundnut oil, food stuff. They bought it with that money. We went to do video of all of these things I'm talking about. There were some that said, oh, I know how to sew. What I need is the machine. I bought a machine, whipping machine and sewing machine for that woman, and she has her daughter learn how to sew too. So both of them started sewing for people, and that's how I saw that those 10 women transformed. And that was what inspired us and said, oh, if 100,000 can do in this woman, God give us to want to do more, for more people. So the next year, which was my own 40th birthday, which was last year, and I said, okay, I'm 40, let me do 40 widows. So we made it 40 last year. We gave out 50,000 each to 40 widows, which was about 2 million naira, 3 million naira. And then, so that year, last year, I said a wish to God. I said, God, I want to do 1,000. I want to do 1,000 widows. And I said, 1,000 widows, if you do 50,000 for 1,000 widows, that would be like 50 million. And I said, 50 million is small money to you, God. I want to do it. And if God sees your heart desires, He will make those things come to pass. And that was how I said it. And at the beginning of the year, I and my husband had a discussion, and we said, okay, we're going to do the 1,000. So I called my staff. That was when Corona now started. I said, how are we going to gather 1,000 people in a place? They don't want us to gather, So someone brought the idea and said, why don't we split it? That if we split it in batches, and I said it's true, because when we split it, at least we'll be able to reach out. The people who benefit from this one, the word will go out there. It will make other people come, So I said, oh, I think that's a good idea, coupled with the fact that we can't even gather people. So we said, okay, let's even put it 150. So if we do 150 per quarter, we'll have 600. Let's even start like that. And that was what brought about the 150 that we're starting with you today. So that's about the 150. So we thought, okay, instead of just giving cash out, that why don't we buy these things? Let's buy things for people, because cash is tempting. Someone can collect the cash and just spend it, and they won't know, what they did. So we said, let's empower people. Let's actually get them to train. Let's get them, start up. So if there are things they've trained for and they need cash to buy things, then we can understand that now they need capital. So that was why this time around, we ended up having to spend more than the 50K, because most of these things, I didn't even know it was expensive. So, by the time we got to the market to want to buy the hair dryer and all, we ended up seeing some of them were 70,000, some were 69. So it actually went beyond the 50K budget we had tried to plan, but I said it doesn't really matter. Let's just go ahead. So, and then we started spraying. let's train people who wants to, make hair. At least start with washing and setting and all. And so we have trainers. We are going to give those trainers maybe 1 minute to talk before we start the presentation. So we have trainers here last week, and people came to train on how to make soap. Some people trained on how to make drinks, and some people trained on how to, wash hair and do the hair. So that's why you have 150 of you here today in 30 per batches. So we have some people will be going with grinding machine 30. We have hair dryers 30. We have sewing machines 30. We have Zobo, those who have made the drinks. 30 of you will be going with 50,000 cash to buy things to start making your drink. And I'm going to monitor you. When I say that you're doing well, we're going to support you the more. And then the last but not the least batch is those who have done soap. I think they made soap samples. I asked them to make some samples that they're going to distribute here today. Among me, I hope we have the samples of the soap. So they bought containers and put stickers. So I want us to have a copy of each, a sample each of those soap. They put it in hand wash size container. So produced by fellow people here, by the CBOF empowered women. To God be the glory. We are going to be commissioning the police station very soon. So thank you so much. Stay tuned as we go ahead. I don't know if MD has one or two things he wants to say.
Yes, we need him to. Please, a hand of applause.
Thank you so much. What the GED has said it all. She has said so many things, which I don't want just to repeat. But the foundation is born with passion to touch humanity, not more. We just want to touch humanity because so many people need help in this world. Widows, artisans, people that they have the skill, but they don't have the money. People, you have your husband, or suddenly his demise, you are sad, but God raised people to support you. So that's why we are here. It's a foundation that we are so passionate about. It's going to go all over the world. This is just the beginning. And we are going to touch lives all over the world. So my encouragement to you seated here today is anything, any material or any machine, any money we are giving you today, make effective use of it. Turn it over and make sure that by the time we are seeing you in 3 months' time, in 6 months' time, in a year's time, your life has changed. Because there's no little money that cannot change anybody's life. 50,000 is enough to change if you manage it effectively. These machines, they are enough to change. When I was growing up, I grew up with people with this grinding machine. I know how much people make in the market when they grind pepper with this. Even hairdressing machine, the tailor machine. Because I grew up also with this. My mom used to be a tailor. Not a tailor per se, side hustle. She loved to sew. She's a teacher, but she loved to sew. So one of the things I want to encourage you is just make sure that you are focused. Anything you are giving here today, make sure you make effective use of it. And by the glory of God, by the meet again, we'll be able to do so much more for you. So thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you.
We sure hope you enjoyed this video. For more entertaining video content such as behind the scenes of music videos and movies, music concerts, premieres, interviews, and exclusive gists, subscribe now to our YouTube channel GoldmyneTV and be unleashed into a world of super excitement.